We are ready to get into game. It is time to kick off the broadcast here for Top 32. Of course, in this side of the bracket now, day 2, we are going to have best of 5s pretty well all around here. Rules was best of 3 until we got to those, I believe it was the semifinals and stuff there, or best of 5s in the end, or actually that was in doubles. It was all best of 3s yesterday.
A lot of Smash.
A lot of Smash.
Literally from like
in the
Tuesday
past
to
few
now.
days. Yeah, and then woke up in the morning, watched more Smash,
Yep.
watched some Smash before going to bed last night because, of course, Kagaribi was on, and a ton of players who are typically at this event were actually at Kagaribi as well.
Yeah, I mean, the grand finals last year looked a lot. I think every single player that was on stage last year, except for 1 or 2, is in Japan this year.
In Japan right
Between
now,
Winthrop and the old Fisher squad, it was, I think, 7 out of the 8 players are off in Japan right now, and so far, it's going to be possibly 1 stock apiece. Atomic hanging on to that, all 3 for the moment, but eventually AZ.
Yeah, and evens it out without taking any percent too, which is a nice way to kind of get back into the game. Atomic still just, you can tell, the hands are firing, the brain is firing for sure.
Probably want some revenge too.
Yeah, especially, yeah, you come off of a series like that where you played so well. I mean, everyone played so well.
I would argue Atomic was the best player overall the whole series.
A series doesn't go to Game 5, last game, last players like that, unless
and they started down 1-0 too. Good note to make. So Atomic had to come in there and kind of set him off right and kick him into high gear.
Yeah, instead of having the reset, Fisher just got a game advantage, 1-0 to start. Went all the way to 5. The Arlington played very well, and Atomic pretty well just keeping that momentum going here. Barely took any percent, 30% before they took AZ's next stock.
The thing is, Wolf is going to hit very hard, especially toward the side of the stage, so AZ can find a way back into the game, but Atomic definitely in the driver's seat. It's been clean Smash so far. AZ putting together a nice little string there, but it's going to be Atomic going back on the offense now, trying to hold off that right side. That damage continues to climb up, and Atomic still with a full stock lead.
Boom. Gyro being used quite well. Center stage just to force this Wolf into some difficult movement options right there. And up tilt, up air. It's never not going to be a good way to find that kill on Rob. I mean, up air, one of the best. Up air and back air, I think, are like your go-to kill moves as Rob, of course. Yeah, the bread and butter there. And then we saw Atomic get a ton of insane kills there in that series as well. Off the ledge, early kills, either two-framing or just right before they hit to the ledge. I think the hitbox is big enough where it doesn't actually have to be a two-frame if you time it right, but I would love for somebody to correct me on that because some of the tech, it's just what I see. It's not really, it's not all floating around up here, to say the least, though. 1-0 Atomic right now. Of course, best of 3, longer sets than yesterday's, so AZ's got a lot of time to actually make these adjustments here. 2 more games to do that before they really start to worry about anything. Yeah,
that is kind of the one good thing, because even in the best of 3s, we saw so many times the game would kind of start, would go one way, and then the next 2 games, the reads were made, and the game flipped very, very quickly, and players would just make the adjustments and end up running away with it. So best of 5, you got some wiggle room. You still got time to get back into the series if you are AZ, but obviously, vaunted opponent next to you, Atomic is going to bring it, and bringing it all day, bringing it all week. I think UTA was the 1 seed in that bracket as well at CECC. So
yes, this was
the favorite to win the tournament.
Yeah, and we talked about some of the subs coming in and stuff too. So some of these players, getting their chance, and UTA definitely took their chance. Obviously, as we mentioned, coming in as that 1 seed, definitely showed out on that stage up there, and stage is picked up. Just waiting on, I think we may actually have a character switch from AZ coming through. Is going to be back to the Wolf, and we're just headed back in. Just wanted a quick minute in between that game. Probably for the mental more than likely, and just give yourself a breather, get yourself ready, play this next one.
Now let's see if Atomic can kind of go to that same style we saw early. It was batter and bruise early and often, and AZ just couldn't ever really catch up. He just got that stock deficit and ultimately wasn't really able to make up the ground enough at least to bring it back against Atomic. I think he had 2 stocks left in that first game, so this game looking a little bit more even, or it was for a moment. Atomic looking to go on the offense once more. AZ trying to fight for center control, but Atomic will win that over for the moment. Now AZ going to send him off to the right side. Atomic trying to make a bit of a prediction there, not going to be able to find it though, and AZ looking better this time.
Yeah, keeping it pretty even at the start, although this is kind of where we saw that first stock end up before AZ had to actually tie it up after losing their first one, and is going to be able to shield the side B. Gets a nice punish off of that. Up smash out of shield. Now, actually, it's AZ to grab the first stock this time, and that's the thing about Wolf. You get a down throw at 0%, and you can get a good little combo string going there. But Atomic, Rob, obviously, the kill moves are large. They hit pretty hard. They'll send pretty far.
97% on Atomic. It's been very, very clean out of AZ this time around, and if you can find this next stock early, you might be able to put yourself in a very, very strong position, but Rob will do Rob things. He will deal damage if you let him string together some of these combos. So AZ, try to dial it in a little bit here. Try to see if you can keep that lead, keep him at that arm's reach. Atomic definitely doing good to fight his way back into it, and just about found the kill.
Just needs one more hit. Wow, I'm surprised that didn't find the kill. I think it was maybe just didn't hit the first little scoop hit on that up smash, but regardless, cleans it up with the back air. Brings himself back into this. Atomic always shutting down that down throw combo after 2 hits with that neutral air dodge, so could be something that AZ could try to start playing with mentally and making a read on that, but also sometimes you just want to commit, try and take the more hits, and they air dodge, Commanding lead, though, for this Wolf right now.
Yeah, I mean, AZ is setting up to win this second game and even us up at ones. 100% on the Rob and Atomic, and AZ, if you're able to get back on, it would be nice, but you're going to get taken down. That is going to be Atomic grabbing the second stock off AZ, and now we're going to be at ones. And AZ, all that good work you did the last 3 minutes, you do not want to throw it away in the last second of the game.
They give up that stock, of course, so Atomic, unfazed right now, just wants to play their game at the ledge. Forget about the percentage for the time being reflected back. That is 30% from the laser. Not too much knockback on it, though, so Atomic actually keeps a pretty good spot on stage. Gets to keep using this gyro at the ledge. That should be the kill to come through.
Wow.
Start KO off the top. AZ going down 2-0 right now. Atomic feeling good in the series. Sweep is on the line right now, and AZ literally the only person who can stop it. So close in that one. I mean, had a commanding lead for most of the game.
The whole game until the end.
Right until the end. Atomic, though, ice in the veins from that Rob.
That main stage experience cannot be replicated.
Something to prove right now.
And that's the most dangerous person to play against. Imagine you're AZ. It's like Atomic, you just watched one of the probably the best series of any game we've had all week at the Tournament of Champions. Yeah. And then you got to sit down and you're like, I got to play this guy after that? For real?
Yeah. It's a mountain to climb for AZ right now. Luckily, I think I have to double check the bracket. Both of these players should be in winner's side of that. So you do have.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't feel like
you do have the leeway to lose a game. Obviously, first round of winners, you don't necessarily want to be dropping down to losers. Loser of this will go play Sybil in the losers bracket there. Lots of S's. They're messing me up too today, Jobin.
I think that name started with a C.
Yeah, but it's a soft C, all right? Tried to get me there.
Got you on a technicality. Now we're going to see if Atomic can eventually win the 3-0 over AZ. Move on in the winner's bracket. Send AZ packing it down to lowers with a date with Sybil. We saw a lot of good adjustments out of AZ earlier in that second game. Unfortunately, it just fell short at the finish line, but fresh set of stocks, fresh set, fresh reset. Let's see if AZ can make something happen now.
Just keeping it center stage for the most part. Both of these players tossing projectiles. It's basically the battle of the lasers and the gyros until somebody actually gets that first hit. But even now, nobody's been able to string together any kind of confirm right here. Not going to follow up on that. Good roll back in from AZ, but Atomic on top of things. A little parry, waits for a sec, and then pops that up smash now. Wants to keep this momentum going. Ready to take this 3-0. AZ, though, wants to get back towards this ledge, keep Atomic off, and try to pummel with lasers. Wow, nice little parry right there as well. The parries have been flying this tournament, not only in this set, but just yesterday as well. The timing of them has been amazing on some of these plays, and AZ just wants to keep it moving.
Yeah, Atomic's looking to keep it moving as well, but AZ trying to zone him off the right side, at least fight for center control, and then you can kind of play your own game off the side. But there's the up B once more by Atomic. We've seen once he gets into flow state and starts chaining these moves together, it can be very difficult to stop, like a train barreling it down the tracks. But AZ, a willing competitor. It was a competitive game 2. Game 3 is giving us more of the same story. Percentage at about 115 though, so you got to be a little bit cautious how you move forward.
Oh, gets caught by that gyro at the ledge, trying to keep themselves back. Oh, somebody lost a controller. Uh-oh. Should be back in here, and fair enough. Huh? I'm not sure. It's more than likely just... Okay, maybe it's a controller issue, but I was thinking more so it's like, I DC'd, I'll give up the stock.
I thought
type
something
of thing.
like a gentleman's agreement type of, like a, here you go.
But, who knows?
Controller must be.
Yeah, controller must be broken. Obviously, I think, depending on... Obviously, some opponents will just agree to different things as well, but sometimes, too, when the controller disconnects or you accidentally pause a game or anything like that, you kind of do just have to give it up.
Yeah.
Some people do run by that rules. We'd have to go kind of deep in the rule book to figure out that situation right there.
I don't know if you could tell who it was though. I don't remember what color the icon was when they clicked back in. I think it showed.
Oh, it was Rob. It was Atomic
okay.
who was losing that controller. Yeah, it was when you see it like faded out and the other one full color. Yeah. That's the player that has the controller at least still connected.
That would make sense.
We might have to give them a second here just to guarantee that controllers are all good. They are going to be going straight back into this. Yeah,
let's see how it goes.
That other game should be given over to AZ.
No, we're going perfect.
Yeah, we're getting right back into here.
Controller is fixed. The fighting will resume.
And Atomic, I mean, it was a fairly close game, so you can't be super angry. It wasn't like you were up 3 stocks to 1 and suddenly your controller disconnects.
I think Atomic's feeling okay.
Yeah.
At least in this series.
There's any concerns from Atomic here. And
doesn't appear to be the case.
It's just like, okay, I don't get the 3-0 sweep, but if I can just go into this next game, play exactly as I did, I think they can outpace AZ here.
Yeah, right down the pipe into the 4K Jumbotron. AZ already going to be down to stock. Didn't get that much percentage up on Atomic as well, so it's not a dream start by any stretch for AZ. A lot of work has to be done to fight your way back into the game, back into the series no less. You are down 2-0 on series point. Losers bracket and Sybil both eagerly waiting, and there you go though, a big answer.
Huge way to answer back too. Only taken 45% in that second stock. Now back to the ledge though. It's been a dangerous situation for just about every opponent of Atomic today. And I do love that we got to catch that cruise as well, because it just gives us a lot more info about a lot of these players who,
I think it cost me some of my voice.
It's like maybe you see them a lot in their local scenes and some of the bigger tournaments as well as collegiate, of course.
And we just get a gauge on how they're playing, too.
Yeah, you get a gauge on how they're feeling on the weekend. Well, that side B will most definitely kill. I saw the first hit, scoop them up, and AZ, this is it. This is your winner's side stock right here. You definitely need to take that second on the platform as you spawn in. Now, just try to play out that neutral as best as possible. I think one thing we have seen kind of lacking from the Wolf, it feels like, is some of the neutral airs. Starting to throw out a couple more, but it's been a lot of forward airs to try and close the gap, whereas a lot of times you can just drift in with the Nair and get a great tech chases off of it as well to follow up on the rolls.
Yeah.
I know sometimes in Ultimate, though, you're looking for more consistent strings and damage, whereas sometimes it feels like tech chasing ends up being more of like a melee thing. But Wolf is one of the characters who can do it quite well. I know Captain Falcon can do it quite well in Ultimate as well.
Okay, I was going to say AZ's got to do a lot of stuff well very soon, or this game is going to be wraps, and that is the case. It is Atomic 3-0 final scoreline.
3-1 final scoreline.
After 3-1 after
game.
the oopsie.
3-0 in games that were played, we'll call it that. 3-0 moral victory, 3-1.
3-1 on start GG.
Yeah, 3-1 final score. Next up, we've got the winner. Quarterfinals should be coming up to stage. Believe we're going to have Atomic staying on top of that. And the winner